to watch, and we have blurred and frozen the video before things escalate. Chicago police are now investigating after the woman named Korshanda and her son, 9 years old, were viciously attacked near 106th and Bensley. That's just a couple blocks away from Orville Bright Elementary School, where the boy is a student. It happened yesterday shortly after dismissal. A group of kids approached them and started punching and kicking the victims.
I'm trying to get justice for my son. I'm thankful for everybody that came out here today to support me.
The video is a symptom of something that's been going on for a long time. We haven't held these kids accountable. We haven't held parents accountable for the violent actions that their children are doing and that they're aware of.
That was State Senator Willie Preston, who, along with other community members, rallied outside the school today with the boys' parents to call for justice. Korshanda says her son has been bullied at Bright and claims the administration isn't doing enough to protect him. We reached out to Chicago Public Schools about the incident, and a spokesperson tells us in part, "We are horrified by the attack on this family, and we are working collaboratively with city departments and agencies to provide support to the victims. CPS is coordinating closely with the mayor's office, CPD, CHA, and other city departments to provide additional support to the family." Now, that mother and son were taken to the hospital last night where they received treatment. For now, reporting live outside of CPD headquarters, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
A person of interest is in custody after a 26-year-old woman was set on fire on a Blue Line train. This happened Monday night during a fight with a man who threw a liquid on her, then lit her on fire. She's critically injured and still in the hospital. Charges haven't been announced yet.
We have breaking news to tell you about a man is injured in a shooting with police. This happened in an alley off 56th and South Michigan Avenue in Washington Park. Investigators say officers attempted an investigatory stop. The man ran into the alley and ignored commands to stop. Recovered at the scene.
Also breaking this afternoon, the House just passed a bill to release the Epstein files. The vote was 427 to 1.
The lone vote against it coming from Louisiana Republican Clay Higgins. Connor Hansen takes a look at what's next.
Release
the gentlelady's time has expired.
The files now.
After months of fighting over how to handle questions about Jeffrey Epstein, the House has voted to force the release of all the Justice Department's documents.
The yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
Any career official at the DOJ or the FBI who does not comply with the law is at legal risk.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers spoke alongside some of Epstein's victims before the vote.
For you to knowingly put yourselves at risk and put your career at risk is unbelievable to watch, and we are so grateful.
The vote comes after a surprising reversal from President Trump, who now says he supports releasing the materials.
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein.
And a rift with one of the president's most staunch supporters reveals the divide within the party.
Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart.
Speaker Mike Johnson kept the House closed during the government shutdown, and just last week, Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva was sworn in, becoming the final member needed to force a vote. Johnson argues this was not a reversal for him, saying he wanted to make sure names of victims are protected.
We want the bill to be amended so it doesn't, at the same time, violate victim privacy, create new victims.
And it's unclear when the Senate will vote or if it will include restrictions on identifying Epstein's victims. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 32, Chicago.
Also today, the U.S. House has censured Representative Jesus Chuy Garcia over the timing of his retirement announcement. 23 Democrats joined Republicans to pass the measure, accusing Garcia of undermining the process of a fair and free election. Garcia's timing left only a crack in the door for his chief of staff to succeed him in the race. Garcia says his family's health forced his late decision.
A federal judge just blocked Texas from using its new U.S. House map for the 2026 midterms. The maps are redrawn to give the GOP more seats in the House. This is a big setback for President Trump's plan to have Republican lawmakers in several states redraw maps to keep the party's majority. Earlier this year, Democratic members of the Texas House fled here to Illinois to try and block a vote on the map. All right, let's take a live look outside and take a look at one of the flyest cities on the map. Maybe not today. A little gray, a little gloomy out there.
Clouds, huh?
Let's check in with meteorologist Mark Stroh. He's in for Emily today. He has a first check of your forecast. Yeah, no sun at all today.
No. We're not fleeing to come to Illinois because of the weather today, no doubt about that. We've got cloudy, gray conditions. We're going to have the same coming up overnight tonight, again tomorrow. In fact, you may be looking for someplace a little sunnier and a little warmer coming up over the next couple of days because we're stuck right in the 40s. Take a look at the city here and you see a low cloud ceiling kind of eclipsing the top part of the buildings here downtown. So you get up about 800-900 feet and you can see that cloud ceiling just kind of locked in, and you go above 800 or 900 feet, and this is what it looks like. It's cloudy, it's gray. We're going to see a whole lot more of that coming up over the next couple of days with a few chances of some light rainfall and temperatures that are holding mostly in the 40s, even at night. We'll talk more about the 7-day forecast. There is some sunshine coming your way, and I have that in a moment.
All right. There's new information today on a fatal rail crossing crash in Elgin last month.
Yeah, preliminary NTSB report says the driver who died had almost no warning of the oncoming train. Recordings show the Union Pacific locomotive's whistle and the crossing signals activated only when the engine was nearly at the intersection. A landscaping truck entered the crossing moments before it was hit. The train was said to be traveling about 27 miles per hour. One person was killed, 2 injured, and investigators are now focusing on the railroad company's crossing detection technology.
Mass immigration sweeps are now happening in Raleigh, North Carolina. The mayor there says ICE agents are in neighborhoods and several people were detained today. Over the weekend, ICE arrested almost 200 people in Charlotte. The governor says the crackdown is spreading fear with 15% of kids missing school in Charlotte Monday, and many businesses are shutting down too. Governor Josh Stein posted on X saying ICE should focus on violent criminals, not people just walking down the street, going to church, or putting up Christmas decorations.
The number of detainees held at the Broadview ICE facility has dropped since a federal judge ordered the government to comply with requirements to improve the conditions. According to the Chicago Tribune, only 4 people were being held there as of this morning.
A pizza shop in Rogers Park that abruptly shut its doors in October, saying ICE enforcement in the neighborhood left its workers and customers living in fear, has officially reopened.
Leslie Moreno is live outside Nuova Italy Pizza with how the community is showing up to welcome them back. Leslie?
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, that pizza shop here behind me officially reopened at 4 p.m. So just a few minutes ago. This is a comeback the community has been eagerly waiting for. The shop here has been in this neighborhood for the past 18 years. In October, though, the owner of this business posted a message to customers on social media saying the community had been terrorized, targeted, and plagued. The owner said immigration enforcement in the area left staff too afraid to come to work and many neighbors too afraid to stop by. They were heartbroken, unsure if they'd reopen. Tonight they're back and people are showing up not just for the pizza but for the people behind it. The owner says many customers have been calling to place orders to make sure the small family-run shop can recover after weeks of lost business.
We are so excited. The community's been looking for us, and we received so many messages. People is looking for us, so we are excited. I feel like they were scared to be outside. You know? It was very slow. It was very slow, so it's no point.
And the owners here tell me they're still processing everything, but tonight is about moving forward and about a neighborhood coming together after months of fear and uncertainty. Definitely a lot of excitement for this pizza shop here, but they're also asking for a little bit of patience from the customers. They are expecting to be very busy tonight. They're going to try and get to everyone as quickly as they can. For now, reporting live in Rogers Park, Leslie Moreno, Fox 32 News.
Thank you, Leslie. Chicago Botanic Garden workers are trying to unionize, and they say they are facing retaliation because of it. They're getting support from Cook County Commissioners and Board President Tony Preckwinkle. Workers claim this is happening despite the unanimous passage of a Cook County Forest Preserve resolution backing the formation of a union. One worker said he was fired after expressing safety concerns, and another worker spoke at the press conference accusing the Botanic Gardens of union busting.
Throughout our campaign, garden leadership has continuously retaliated against their workers and shown that they do not care about us enough to listen to our pleas. It's scary to be up here as an at-will seasonal employee, but I care so much about the well-being of my fellow workers at the garden, and we are not asking for a lot. We are asking to be acknowledged and treated like the essential workers that we are, because let me be very clear. The garden would not be the renowned institution that it is without the hard work that we put in and day out.
The Chicago Botanic Garden is operated by the Chicago Horticultural Society and is located in the Cook County Forest Preserve District in Glencoe. It has more than 400 employees, and we are reaching out to the Botanic Garden for its response.
Dozens of food science students are showing off their cooking skills tonight. They're whipping up fresh Thanksgiving meals for 400 seniors in their community. This is for the Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences annual Thanksgiving dinner. All the school's departments are helping out, from horticulture to animal science. Everyone is on it. The students have been working with two Southside chefs all day. They're using ingredients grown at the school. They're cooking up more than 3 dozen turkeys, dressing, sweet potatoes, and all the fixings.
I love seeing the faces of elderly people when they smile. It just brings me joy because they're happy, and like we cook the food, so it's like my food is making them happy, and I love to see that.
Dinner starts in about an hour. For more information, you can head to fox32chicago.com.
I love that. Well, Thanksgiving, believe it or not, it's already next week, and depending on the size of your turkey, now is the time to start thawing it out.
Yeah, that's the word from Chicago Fire. They're about to show you why that's a good idea.
Scary. And Tia is following up with a mother who was forced to give birth in a car after being turned away by an Indiana hospital.
Plus, the homeless encampment in North Park is being closed permanently. Talk about the city's plans ahead of 4:30. The Chicago Fire Department showed off their annual turkey fire demonstration today. Firefighters dunked the bird in a pot of hot oil to show you how fast things can go really wrong.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? They say cooking your turkey outside and making sure it's fully thawed can help to keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, Tia is here with more on the demonstration and how to stay safe in the kitchen this Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, because, you know, for some of us, I'm just learning my way around the kitchen, I'll be honest. So
Really?
this is, yeah, I think this is something I could do.
Okay.
And it
Don't
could go
do it.
really
Don't
wrong.
do it,
Yeah,
Tia.
so this is a warning for me and all the people out there. Fire officials not only gave the demonstration, they were also talking about steps you can take to avoid a fire in your home. Thanksgiving is the leading day where house fires involving cooking equipment increase dramatically, and more of our loved ones are in the kitchen, making it easier to get distracted.
During the holiday season, kitchens become even busier with that increased activity, and with that comes an increased risk for distractions. A momentary lapse can easily turn into a dangerous situation.
The Chicago Fire Department says there are several risks that come with using a turkey fryer, so it's very important that you know how to use it before heating it up. You should make sure that your turkey is fully defrosted and dry before putting it in oil. Mixing oil and water, I hope you know this, can spark a flash fire and cause really severe burns.
As we gather with loved ones this Thanksgiving, we want to remind everyone that a few extra minutes of preparation and safety can prevent a lifetime of pain. Deep frying a turkey might be festive, but it must be done with extreme care, or better yet, consider safer cooking alternatives.
Maybe a crock pot? I don't know. Well, fire officials recommend that you stay focused while cooking, keep a fire extinguisher handy, and never leave your food unattended. Also, don't put too much oil in your turkey fryer. And here's a way that you can test how much oil you'll need by filling your fryer with water and dunking the turkey in it. You want the water to be well below the top. I was just thinking, can you possibly, I mean, I guess the turkey would have to be small to put it in a
crock pot?
In a crock pot, but I cook everything in a crock pot.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
I mean, a pressure cooker, maybe.
Yeah, you could. I tell you
can
what,
tell I'm
Tia.
just learning.
Yeah, that's what we were both just talking about. We were like, a crock pot.
She said she doesn't cook.
Maybe if you slice it up, you already have it pre-cut.
Well, in that case,
do that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just coming up with ideas here. I don't know.
I love it. Let's all go to Tia's house for Thanksgiving. Yay!
You're welcome.
I don't know about that.
The turkey might not be that good.
I'll bring the cocktails. Mark Stroh, what are you bringing to Tia's Thanksgiving?
I'm just picturing Tia's kitchen with like the world's largest crock pot, you know? like a little hot tub crock pot, you know, with a big old turkey in it. You know what? I'll bring whatever you need. I'll bring the pies. I'm talented at bringing pies because I can pick them right out of the glass case. Here's what's going on right now. We do have
Not out of the glass case.
In the bakery. In the bakery. Yeah. You think I'm baking my own pies? You don't want my pies. 43 degrees right now out in Aurora this hour. It's 40 degrees at Woodstock, 44 degrees in Joliet. And we're going to hold in the 40s. There's not going to be a whole lot of change in our temperatures coming up overnight tonight or even tomorrow. We're going to be within about a 3 or 4 or 5 degree spread at most. What we are seeing is a lot of cloud cover. There's been some rainfall, just kind of hit and miss, very light rainfall. More significant wet weather downstate. We miss out on that so far. And, you know, earlier this week, I told you that we're likely going to see some rainfall Thursday and Friday. Right now, it looks like that's going to move downstate as well, so we kind of miss out on that. But we are cloudy, we are gray, couple shots of some light rainfall coming our way, and yeah, that's some snowfall up the Great Lakes. Let's take you through the rest of the overnight hours. Told you, flatline temperatures pretty much right here in the low 40s, a lot of cloud cover. Not much else going on here over the next couple of days. That low cloud ceiling just kind of eclipsing the top part of the skyscrapers here in Chicago, and that's about all we're going to see. And if you're on the top floors, you're not going to see much at all. Temperatures 43 at Gary's, 41 degrees in Chicago Heights, staying in the 40s overnight, and again tomorrow, same story.
Okay, so let's start thinking some warmer thoughts. The organizers of Sueños have just announced their first 2026 headliner. Fuerza Regida, a 5-member band from San Bernardino, California, that originally started as a cover band in 2015 and has grown to lead the Billboard's regional Mexican albums and top Latin album charts. This festival will take place on May 23rd and 24th. Pre-sale tickets go on sale this Thursday. Coming up, new age verification rules after lawsuits claiming a popular gaming platform harms children.
Yeah, we'll tell you how Roblox is now using AI to make sure kids are not targets or predators.
The cost of college is skyrocketing, as we all know. Congress is heading back to class, taking on the issue of affordability.
And tomorrow, your phone can do something that could change your travel routine. We'll show you how it works. On Wall Street, the Dow dropped nearly 500 points today. It's a fourth loss in a row. The Nasdaq fell 1.2%, and the S&P lost 0.8%. Its longest losing streak since August. Investors are worried about an AI bubble and a bigger economic downturn. A Wall Street billionaire is backing President Trump's idea for a 50-year mortgage. Billionaire hedge fund manager Bill Ackman is putting out a new plan for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. He says it'll help Trump, make buying a house cheaper. But financial advisors warn while monthly payments would drop, the long-term cost could keep people stuck in debt for decades.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are talking about how to fix rising college tuition.
Education experts say fewer students are actually finishing their degrees. Jared Halpern has the details.
As tuition rates skyrocket, education leaders say more Americans are opting out of college.
We've turned millions in my generation into unemployable debtors who started off adulthood with a negative net worth.
According to the National Student Clearinghouse, only about 61% of first-time students earn a degree within 6 years. Completion rates are lower for non-traditional and part-time learners, but lawmakers argue innovation can change how Americans afford and finish school.
Today, most students are non-traditional, working adults, parents, caregivers, and veterans whose needs and schedules look very different from an 18-year-old living on campus.
More colleges are utilizing high-quality online classes to make learning more accessible. They are also introducing course-sharing partnerships, which allow students to take classes at other universities to complete their degree requirements.
Traditionally, colleges and universities have been very insular institutions.
Republican lawmakers say the White House is accelerating this progress by prioritizing AI literacy to streamline coursework. But Democrats argue those efforts won't matter due to educational funding cuts made under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Cutting these programs without offering an alternative solution to address the rising cost of college will adversely affect low-income borrowers.
A bipartisan bill, the College Transparency Act, is making its way through Congress and would require colleges to report more detailed data on cost and academic outcomes. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox 32, Chicago.
Roblox is announcing new protections for young users on its platform. The San Mateo-based company says any user who wants to use text or voice chat on that platform will have to have their age verified. Now, part of those age checks will be done using AI technology, which will be able to estimate how old someone is by looking at a picture or video of their face. Young users will be matched into so-called age bins so they can only speak to people verified in their same age range.
When we think about age checking and sort of who can talk to who, we think of it really in sort of elementary school buckets. So middle schoolers can talk to middle schoolers and high schoolers can talk to high schoolers, but not outside of those buckets. Safety is an industry-wide problem. Kids are not just on one app, they're on all of the apps. And so we can make Roblox as safe as we can, but to really keep kids safe, we need the whole industry to get behind this.
Roblox has more than 150 million users around the world, and about a third of them are under the age of 13. It's facing lawsuits in several states and from families who accuse the company of not doing enough to protect children from predators who use the platform's chat function. Roblox says the new age verification requirements to use the chat function will go into effect next month.
A Fox Chicago follow-up next. A mother in labor. A cell phone video shows her being sent home, and her baby was born on the side of the highway.
And now the family's lawyer is demanding answers.
All very true. The Wells family, they want the nurse fired and the protocols to be changed. Hear from them, an ER doctor and their lawyer, coming your way next.
It's starting the day with hope. Knowing you're in the right place. Having access to advanced treatments and the most experienced cancer experts. When you're facing cancer, it's not just one thing that makes the difference. It's everything. The big, the small, the unexpected that helps you keep moving forward. Advocate Healthcare. Cancer care that makes the difference. Take your
Right now at 4:30, the Trump administration wants all SNAP recipients to reapply for benefits. We're going to let you know what we know about this move.
Your idea is about to get a new home. We're digging into how this switch could change simple, everyday moments.
Plus, a Fox Chicago follow-up. A husband and wife say a Northwest Indiana hospital sent them away while the mother was in active labor, forcing them to deliver their newborn along the side of a highway.
And they've just hired an attorney. Batia, you spoke with them today. It's not money they're asking for.
No, they're not asking for money in this situation. They are asking for changes to be made at the hospital so this doesn't happen to someone else, right? The Wells family says the experience was traumatic, discriminatory, and dangerous. And tonight they are calling for Franciscan Health Crown Point to make some serious changes.
I just don't understand how, as a licensed healthcare worker, you could turn someone to the door to leave that's in excruciating pain. It's essentially like I was stripped of my dignity. I was stripped of my dignity as a person because I was treated less than an animal.
Well, cell phone video shows Mercedes Wells being wheeled out of Franciscan Health and discharged, even as she says she was in active labor with contractions 1 minute apart. Mercedes and her husband Leon say staff ignored their pleas for help and sent them away without ever being seen by a doctor. 8 minutes later, Mercedes felt the baby coming. Their daughter Alina was born on the side of the highway, delivered by her father Leon. Franciscan Health declined an interview but says it has launched an internal investigation. The Wells family believes race played a role in all of this. Medical experts note federal EMTALA laws require hospitals to screen and stabilize patients in labor before discharging them.
The Emergency Medicine Treatment Labor Act. And this is a federal law from 1986, which all hospitals must comply. And that's two aspects of the EMTALA. That's we provide a screening and stabilization. And so that goes into question when you look at this video as it applies to stabilization. But again, this is not common practice.
You know, the nurse that wheeled us down, we had 2 nurses and a security guard because they just knew we was going to just act up.
We're calling for a meeting with the administrators at Franciscan. Accountability looks like making certain that the woman that made the decision to kick her out of this hospital doesn't work there anymore. She shouldn't work there anymore.
And again, the hospital says they are investigating. I want you to look at this video behind me because this is the positive part in all of this story. We just got this video. This is baby Alina. And despite the circumstances, the 2-day-old is doing just fine. What an adorable bundle of joy. Sylvia and Terrence, I know you have some breaking news that you need to get to.
Thanks for that, Tia. Okay, we do have that breaking news. A resolution forcing the release of the Epstein files is now heading to the president's desk. The measure just passed the Senate with unanimous consent. President Trump has said he will sign the bill.
The city plans to close the Legion Park encampment next year. The plan starts with an overnight camping ban in early 2026. About 35 people live there now. Many have waited years for housing. That wait average is 4 years citywide. The city has not set a closure date yet and says it is still working out the details. Advocates plan to meet with the Park District Board Wednesday to press for clear options. The city says it will offer shelter and try to move people indoors. The next step is a final timeline, which the city has not released. People on food assistance now have to reapply. According to the Department of Agriculture, this is to cut down on SNAP fraud. 29 mostly Republican-led states say they found hundreds of thousands of fraudulent claims, but that data has been made public. This is despite a recent congressional report saying fraud is rare and most mistakes happen because of unintentional overpayments. No word yet on when people will have to reapply, but right now recipients already have to recertify the information every 6 months.
As airports nationwide continue to rebound after the government shutdown, state leaders are thanking air traffic controllers for keeping travel moving. Roseanne has more from O'Hare.
Senator Dick Durbin thanked the air traffic controllers for all of their hard work during the government shutdown, and they expressed their gratitude to him for voting to end it. Senator Durbin arrived at O'Hare and carrying donuts went to meet a group of about 10 air traffic controllers from all over northern Illinois. While they say they've now received 50 to 60% of their back pay, airlines are pressing lawmakers to make sure controllers don't miss any more paydays, even if there's another shutdown. Otherwise, it could greatly hamper efforts to hire new controllers that are sorely needed, but wary of the fallout during shutdowns when some say they were forced to take second jobs just to pay their bills.
We started a food bank in the facility to help feed folks that couldn't afford food. A decision was to come to work or take care of their children because they couldn't afford daycare. It's just like any other American family. Those are the things that stresses all of us all the time.
In my mind, we just couldn't run the risk that these men and women still trying to do their best would be under such pressure that they might not make the right decision at the right moment. We can't let that happen, certainly not at the expense of politicians deciding who gets a political advantage out of this.
Senator Durbin says air traffic controllers here at O'Hare are forced to work 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. Now, he also said nationwide there are 10,000 air traffic controllers when there should be 14,000, a situation he hopes to remedy. He said he would also vote for any measure that would pay air traffic controllers even during government shutdowns. At O'Hare Airport, Roseanne Tejas, Fox 32, Chicago.
Thanks, Roseanne. Let's take a live look outside. What a shot there, huh? It's actually quite beautiful. You see the lights up, and look at those clouds in the background.
Clouds make the lights even brighter.
Yeah, it kind of makes it pop, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, we have such a low cloud deck here tonight. It's under 1,000 feet that basically it's acting like a little reflector. Okay. So a lot of the street lights are kind of bouncing off. And if you look at that picture there, it kind of has a little purple.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Periwinkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's more periwinkle.
Color chart over here.
You know what? We're going to have more of that coming up overnight tonight, tomorrow, and even through the next day. A lot of cloud cover in our forecast. And look how flat these temperatures are. You know, there's not that what we call a diurnal shift in temperatures. That's the warm up during the day and the cool down at night. No, it's just flat right across the board, right through Wednesday. Temperatures within about 2 or 3 or 4 degrees of one another. And it's not until we get to later on Thursday that we finally begin to taper up a little bit and we go up into the 50s, go up to about 55 degrees for the day temperature on Thursday. And even that is not a huge swing. But between now and then, just a lot of cloud cover and temperatures kind of...
Sound effect.
I mean, if temperatures had a sound, that's maybe in my mind what they sound like.
Wait. Yeah. What was it again? Do it again.
He has to be inspired.
Gotcha.
He has to be inspired.
I love a good sound effect.
That's such a
Yes, you do. Thanks, Joe. All right. Coming up, they say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready for winter weather, that is.
Okay, IDOT is prepping plows, salt, and the equipment. We're going to take you inside one of those salt domes. I remember the first time I moved here and I saw the salt dome thinking, what is that? Did you know what it was when you first saw it?
No.
That's what it is.
Now you know. Apple has a new digital ID system, and Illinois is getting on board. We'll walk you through the new feature starting tomorrow.
Stick with me, kid. And the Chicago Bears scoring a touchdown in the community, surprising some new moms.
A big surprise today from the Bears.
Yeah, they welcomed a new group of fans and their moms to Advocate, Illinois Masonic today. Chicago Bears player Elijah Hicks and his sidekick Staley Da Bear surprised a new group of little fans and their mamas. They handed out gift bags that included Crate and Barrel diaper bags, Baby Bears zip tags, and Baby Bears milestone blankets. There were smiles all around as everyone looks forward to another Bears win this Sunday at Soldier Field, and start them while they're early, and they will be Bears fans for the rest of their lives, right? Is that how that works?
Good or bad,
Yeah,
but always good.
Exactly.
Illinois is giving you a new way to show identification starting tomorrow. If you use an iPhone, you can keep a state ID or driver license on your device. All right, let's get into the questions I'm sure most of you have. Is it safe? The state says the ID sits encrypted on your iPhone and only unlocks with your Face ID. The reader only sees the details you approve. If a business just needs your age, only that shows up. Now, can you use it everywhere? Not yet. Police do not have to accept a phone version either, and not every bar or venue has the equipment. Right now, this works at TSA and at places that opt in. The Secretary of State says their focus during testing came down to one issue.
I think the most important lesson that our IT team working with Apple has identified is how secure the encryption and the biometric authorization has been. That's the stuff that, has historically kept me up at night, is how do we make sure that there's cybersecurity? How do we make sure that this isn't hacked? So that's been the biggest piece of it.
All right, so how do you set it up? Open wallet, tap the plus sign, scan your card, take a selfie. The state verifies it and then adds it to your device. Anyone who wants the full walkthrough can find it at ilsos.gov.
Or go to T's Instagram. He'll give you personal instructions. He'll help you out. You're going to be helping me, let me tell you that right now. Okay, an internet service outage that impacted several major websites this morning has now been resolved. San Francisco-based Cloudflare started having issues at about 4 o'clock this morning. That slowed websites including X, Spotify, and Amazon, and the video game League of Legends. Cloudflare, which provides services to help websites block cyber attacks, says that issue has now been fixed.
Cloudflare.
Cloudflare.
Bad name. That sounds like a bad thing to happen. Okay, GameStop wants your old stuff, even the things you don't want anymore. The company is hosting its first ever Trade Anything Day next month. Yes, I mean anything.
Wow.
GameStop has always let people trade in old games or consoles, but now you can trade in almost anything for in-store credit. They say just don't bring weapons, animals, drugs, TVs, or adult items. I don't think I need to go over that. You can only trade one item, and it has to fit in a 20 by 20 by 20 box. Trade Anything Day is happening Saturday, December 6th. Yeah, you can bring taxidermy things.
Really?
And, yeah.
Do you remember going to GameStop and exchanging stuff? Didn't you live there,
I
right?
love GameStop.
Yeah. That
Love
was
GameStop.
the place.
But then we would beat the games too quickly, which I guess you could trade it in, but
Yes,
that's why
no.
we just went to Blockbuster.
How about
which is
that?
Not around anymore.
GameStop wants you to come back, T. Keep them in business.
My taxidermy bear.
See what they do with that. Okay, you're going to have to pay more for shipping next year. The U.S. Postal Service filing a notice about its price increases for 2026 with the Postal Regulatory Commission. USPS will be raising the price of Priority Mail Express service by 5.1%. Parcel Select will go up 6%. Priority Mail Service will go 6.6%. And USPS Ground Advantage will increase 7.8%. I hope you're writing all this down. The agency says the new rates will keep it competitive while bringing in necessary revenue. And the new prices will be taking effect on January 18th.
All right, parents and teachers across the nation are losing their mind over a numbers game.
But one police department in Indiana says they have a solution, and it is now trending.
Plus, Cambridge Dictionary's 2025 Word of the Year is capturing an unhealthy modern phenomenon. We'll talk about it.
But first, winter prep. Ida is getting ready, but when can we expect our next major snowfall? Mark has our full forecast after the break.
And before we go to break, let's check out how the roadways are looking. Looks like a few incidents there on the map. Come on back.
simple game.
Let's take a live look outside. A little overcast. We had some rain. Is more on the way. And actually, we were asking about snow. But, you know, after getting a taste of winter last week, IDOT and the Illinois Tollway Authority are taking the wheel to get ready for an icy winter season.
They're not taking the wheel from Jesus. IDOT will deploy nearly 200 plows in the upcoming weeks and has a stockpile of over 100,000 tons of road salt. Now that the officials are ready, let's help you get ready. Here are some tips. Start keeping your gas tanks at least half full at all times. This will allow you to keep the car running if you become stranded. And speaking of, now is the time to also pack a winter kit, a blanket, shovel, kitty litter, which can help you if you get stuck in the snow, and some snacks with protein preferable. Also, program this number into your phone. Should you find yourself in a trouble spot on the road, call star 999. Assistance is available 24 hours a day. These are those tips that people always hear and they go, duh, I know this.
And then
you get caught up in the moment.
Then
you'll be like, dang, what was that number T told me to call again?
I have one more tip that's really important. Muy importante, okay? You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go to the bathroom before you leave the house.
Oh, well, yeah.
Let me tell you what.
I will never forget. Be able to go.
It was a horrible snowstorm, and I was driving in from the suburbs, and I thought I was going to die. It was bad, so go to the bathroom.
I had a friend that was stuck in Buffalo, New York, in the car for 5.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
And you would think in a snowstorm that you'd have privacy, but apparently not. No, it's bumper to bumper all the way home.
Wow.
5.5 hours.
Oh.
Keep some empty bottles in the car.
That's a boy thing.
You're just full of helpful reminders.
We're going down the toilet with this conversation here. So what do you got to tell us, Mr. Strell?
Let's check you some numbers here for overnight tonight. These temperatures overnight tonight down in the low 40s. And then check out how little they move for your daytime highs tomorrow. The low 40s tonight, the mid 40s tomorrow. Just not a whole lot happening temperature-wise. Not a lot of dynamic action here. 40s and 50s through the weekend. 40s now, and eventually we make it up into the 50s. Rounds of wet weather. Yeah, there are a couple patches of wet weather, but not really anything too significant. Today we hit 44 degrees. 47 is our average. This is the way things look right now. Cloudy with periwinkle skies, as Terrence Lee would say. 42 degrees, east-northeast winds at 13 miles per hour, and a wind chill of 35 degrees. A little bit of a chill here this evening. This is snowfall across Michigan. Nothing really happening for us. A little bit of light rainfall trickled across the area earlier. And yeah, that's thunder across central Illinois. Some thunderstorms and lightning right across the mid-section of the state earlier today. Temperatures right now 42 at the lakeshore, 42 degrees at O'Hare, 43 degrees at Midway this hour. And again, the temperature is not fluctuating very much at all. So 40s today, 40s again tomorrow. By Thursday, we finally, after about 48 hours, push up a little higher, but this time up to about 55 degrees, still mostly cloudy skies. Not till later in the week do we see much, if any, sunshine. I'm going to go partly sunny on Friday. Temperatures down to 52 degrees and more sunshine in store for the weekend. Clouds holding about here in Chicago for the most part, not only here, all the way up through Iowa into Minnesota, down towards Missouri. Just these kind of low stratus clouds just holding on here. Not a whole lot of variability in our weather forecast, and that's one of the reasons the temperatures have held kind of flat here over the last couple of days and will continue to do so. Tonight, overnight low temperatures of 41. Tomorrow, only up to 44. Again, not much variance. Your 7-day forecast, we put it up to 55 on Thursday, 52 on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, some sunshine returns. 50 on Saturday, 55 degrees on Sunday, and we remain in the 50s Monday and Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Cambridge Dictionary has crowned its word of the year, and it is parasocial. It's defined as the one-sided bond that people feel with someone they don't actually know, such as a celebrity, an influencer, or an AI chatbot.
I do know Beyonce, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams.
That's how I feel about Sierra. Yeah, Sierra and Russell Wilson. So I get it.
I've interviewed one of them, so I'm sure she's told the other two about me. So I know them.
They like your social all the time.
Hello,
I'm starting to feel like a super fan, like psychotic though about it. Like because no, I'm saying based off of that seems a little like too attached.
Okay,
like psychotic in a way.
Let's ban that. Let's ban that. Like teachers are trying to ban something too.
In Mark's face.
And now the police in Indiana are making it illegal to say it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office going viral tonight after deputies made a cheeky video with the help of some elementary students.
Check it out.
So we added change 4. What else, Emery?
6, 7.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What'd you say?
Did I just hear 6, 7, Mrs. Keller? You did.
First one?
I think it was this one. I saw her hand up. Oh, yeah.
First ticket of the day.
Oh, no.
Hey, Indiana Code 6-7. It's now against the law to use the words 6-7 unless using it in a math problem or someone's age.
She was really scared. I was going to say, I don't know. Yeah, that's right, 6-7, the nonsensical viral slang term kids seemingly can't stop saying is being outlawed. Deputies spent a day handing out some fake tickets to students, saying the new 6-7 ordinance was passed to, quote, keep parents saying thank you, but it seems students were unbothered as nearly the entire school was ticketed before the end of the day.
Wow.
6-7.
Have you seen
whatever you want it to
say it
mean.
like that. No. So annoying. 6-7.
We're
My
being
kid
told to move on. There is a social media thing that has caught people's attention. A microphone and a camera set up at school highways. Oh, with the sign saying, tell us something good that happened today. Here is one video from a school in Ohio. Take a look.
Good thing that happened to me today was Miss Gates, she complimented my artwork.
Miss Stelter said she missed me. I checked my grades, and I had all A's.
I get to go to open mats for wrestling today.
I love this. The goal, practicing gratitude ahead of Thanksgiving holidays. The video was posted September 7th, and it has gone viral. What are you thankful for? What's something good that happened today?
I'm here.
Yes, I'm getting to work with all of you lovely people. That's my good thing. Right here on the News at 4.
Why are you laughing so much?
I was going to say, why can't that be serious?
We love Tia.
She's so 6'7", Dawn. She's so 6'7".
Totally. We're just grateful for the laughs. That's what we're grateful for.
I love us some Tia.
All right, now at 5, Illinois going digital. What you need to know before the state begins a new ID system.
A bill that will release the Epstein files will soon be heading to the desk of Donald Trump.
And a Chicago mother and her son brutally attacked on their walk home. The community now demanding answers. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Dawn Hasbrook.
I'm Scott Schneider. What a difference 24 hours makes. We've gotten the rain out of the way. Still a little chilly out there. Meteorologist Mark Strell in for Emily tonight. How are we looking for this evening?
You know, what we have is what we get. What we shall have in the future, temperatures in the 40s. We're not going to be bouncing around very much at all. We've got temperatures in the low 40s, going up into the mid 40s tomorrow, back into the low 40s tomorrow night. Not till we get to a little later in the week do we push finally back up into the 50s. And this is what things look like. You saw that low cloud ceiling, and just above 800-900 feet, we are socked in here. No problems here at the surface, but yeah, with that cloud cover, you know, it is going to be low clouds overnight tonight, and we're going to have these blanket of clouds that are going to keep the temperatures pretty constant. 43 right now at both airports, 42 degrees at the lakeshore. We do have some 30s up the lake, also northwest suburbs. Elsewhere, temperatures are in the 40s. That's where we're going to hang here for at least the next couple of days.
Well, there is outrage in South Deering tonight. A mother and child beaten on the way home from school.
The attack was caught on cell phone video and has sparked demands for immediate action. Casey Cronus is live at Chicago Police Headquarters with the latest. Casey.
That's right. And community members, as you mentioned, they want answers. Now, Mayor Brandon Johnson and other elected officials tonight are condemning the attack as well, calling it deeply disturbing. And we need to warn you, it is heartbreaking to watch this video. It happened yesterday, shortly after school dismissal, and we have blurred and frozen the video before things escalate. Chicago police are now investigating after a 33-year-old mother named Korshanda and her 9-year-old son were viciously viciously attacked near 106th and Bensley. Her young daughter was also there. The terrifying incident unfolded just a couple blocks away from Orville Bright Elementary School, where the boy is a student. Korshonda says they were walking home when a group of kids began following them, then started punching and kicking the mother and son.
They fought my son, they hit my son first, all in his face. Then they dragged me in the grass and pulled my little baby hair. I'm trying to get justice for my son. I'm thankful for everybody that came out here today to support me.
Community members rallied outside the school today with the boys' parents calling for justice. Korshonda says her son has been bullied at Bright and claims the administration isn't doing enough to protect him. We have Chicago Public Schools' response, but first, a local rapper, Lil Zay Osama, is now coming forward to help. He says he wants to fly the mom and son to LA for dinner and Christmas shopping and has a message for other children listening.
It's just something that shouldn't be going on. Kids should be able to go to school and be comfortable walking home from school and at school learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, kids at that age should not be doing things like that, especially to an adult and to their peers that go to school with them. That's crazy. That shouldn't be happening in our community. We got to do better.
A CPS spokesperson tells us in part, we are horrified by the attack on this family, and we are working collaboratively with city departments and agencies to provide support to the victims. CPS is coordinating closely with the mayor's office, CPD, CHA, and other city departments to provide additional support to the family. In his statement, Mayor Brandon Johnson also said that we cannot normalize this type of behavior. There was an increased police presence near the school today. Reporting live outside CPD headquarters, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
A person of interest is in custody after a 26-year-old woman was set on fire on a Blue Line train. This happened late last night. Police say she was fighting with a man and he ended it by throwing a liquid onto her and then lighting her on fire. She is critically injured and still in the hospital. Charges have not yet been announced. And a man is injured in a shooting with Chicago police. This happened in an alley off of 56 and South Michigan Avenue in Washington Park. Investigators say officers attempted an investigatory stop. The man ran into the alley and ignored commands to stop. An officer opened fire after he says he observed a handgun. The suspect was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center. An officer was also taken to a hospital for observation. A weapon was recovered at the scene.
Well, after months of fighting over how to handle questions about Jeffrey Epstein, both the House and Senate have agreed to force the release of all the Justice Department's documents.
Terrence Lee is here. There was an overwhelming majority.
Sure was. The bill passed in the House with 427 votes in favor of it. Only one person against it, a Republican from Louisiana. The Senate has already agreed to pass the bill unanimously as soon as it is received from the chamber. That could take a few hours. Even though the bill had a lot of bipartisan support, it was strongly opposed by House Republican leaders in the White House. The Republicans who endorsed the bill took some big shots for doing so, including Georgia Congresswoman and former staunch Trump ally Marjorie Taylor Greene, who the president called a traitor.
Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me.
President Trump now supports releasing the files. He even said he will sign it once it reaches his desk. One of Epstein's sex abuse survivors says while she is grateful for the president's reversal on the release, she is skeptical on what the agenda is.
I am traumatized. I am not stupid. You have put us through so much stress, the lockdowns, the halt of these procedures that were supposed to have happened 50 days ago. The Adelita Grijalva who waited to get sworn in and then get upset when your own party goes against you because what is being done is wrong. It's not right.
Again, the Senate will not have to actually do a roll call vote on the bill since it was adopted by unanimous consent. We'll keep you updated and let you know when and if the president does in fact sign it. Scott.
Well, Terrence, right after the House voted on releasing the Epstein files, Illinois Representative Jesus Chuy Garcia became the center of attention.
Republican and Democrats voted to publicly rebuke Garcia for the way he chose to bow out of his race for re-election. Political reporter Paris Schutz has more.
Yeah, this has gotten lots of national attention now, Don and Scott. The resolution called Garcia's actions, quote, beneath the dignity of the office and incompatible with the spirit of the United States Constitution. It passed by a 236 to 183 vote with Democrats split. The resolution was brought by a Democrat, a representative from Washington named Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez, and it caught some of her Democratic colleagues off guard. Nearly all Republicans signed on. 23 Democrats, other Democrats voted present. Now, Garcia came under fire for announcing he would not seek re-election right at the deadline for any candidate to turn in their nominating petitions to run. And no Democrat filed to run except for Garcia's chief of staff, Patty Garcia, no relation, who was able to get advance notice and turn in her petitions before the deadline. Now, Garcia's issued a fact check that he says corrects the record on the issue.
I like Chuy Garcia. I think his reasons for retiring are noble. We are not here to adjudicate the character of Chuy Garcia. I'm asking the body to consider a set of facts laid before us tonight about...
He did not circulate petitions for any congressional campaign except his own. The other Democratic candidates circulated her own petitions and earned support from constituents whose voices should not be silenced by this resolution. Anyone at any time before the filing deadline could have collected petitions and filed to run, which is exactly what several candidates did, one of whom filed as a Republican and the other with the Working Class Party. Anyone willing to file as a Democrat could have filed petitions before his announcement. Of course, the complaint, when everyone thought Garcia was running, in fact, he had a campaign up and running. He was raising money. It scared people off, and then he decided at the last minute not to run. Now, we did reach out to Congressman Garcia, Gluesenkamp-Perez, and Patty Garcia today, but they declined to comment. Scott?
All right, Paris, thanks for that update. The Village of Broadview now expanding a designated protest zone right outside the ICE processing center, and that starts tomorrow. Protesters will now be allowed to gather on Beach Street in Lexington and the entrance to a large commercial parking lot right across the street from the facility. Thousands, as we've reported, have demonstrated there in recent months protesting against expanded immigration enforcement. The Village put that zone in place after several demonstrations turned violence. Now that federal immigration agents have left Chicago, some businesses are reopening their doors.
Leslie Moreno is live in Rogers Park at one place that shut down during ICE operations. Leslie.
Hey guys, good evening. Yeah, Nueva Italy here behind me officially reopened at 4 o'clock. This is a comeback this neighborhood has been eagerly waiting for. We spoke with the owner here. She says they posted on Facebook about a month ago in October a message to customers on social media saying the community had been terrorized, targeted, and plagued. The owner said immigration enforcement in the area left staff too afraid to come to work and many neighbors too afraid to stop by. She says they were heartbroken, unsure if they'd ever reopen. Tonight they're finally back and people are showing up, not just for the pizza, but for the people behind it. The owner says many customers have been calling to place orders to make sure this small family-run shop can recover after weeks of lost business.
We are so excited. The community's been looking for us, and we received so many messages. People is looking for us, so we are excited. I feel like they were scared to be outside. It was very slow. It was very slow, so it's no point.
And the owner here tells me they're still processing everything they went through, but tonight is about moving forward and about a neighborhood coming together after months of fear and uncertainty. The owner says they're really excited to be back and to see all those familiar faces, and they're also asking people for a little bit of patience as they get back to their regular schedule here. They're going to try to get to as many orders as they can. For now, reporting live in Rogers Park, Les Moreno, Fox 32 News.
While people in Chicago are feeling relief as immigration efforts wind down, the same cannot be said in other states.
We're live tonight in North Carolina, where the Trump administration's crackdown is showing no signs of slowing down.
And as you get ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, the Chicago Fire Department has some safety reminders for cooking those birds.
Fox.
The immigration crackdown is winding down in Chicago as the feds shift their focus from the city. The Department of Homeland Security is now planning to deploy 250 agents to Louisiana.
In Charlotte, North Carolina, agents have already made more than 130 arrests in the latest operation, which they're calling Charlotte's Web.
Chelsea Torres is live in Charlotte. Chelsea, what's the latest today?
Scott, Dawn, the Department of Homeland Security says Border Patrol agents are arresting dozens of illegal immigrants. Many have records and are even known gang members, including the affiliation of MS-13 gang. Some have records like crimes of assaulting a police officer, DUI, and a hit and run. Look at this video that we received from the Department of Homeland Security. They say that they're also seeing a surge in vehicle ramming attacks on ICE officers and Border Patrol agents. Officials say it shows a driver using their vehicle to ram federal agents right here in Charlotte on Sunday. Now, since President Trump has been in office, DHS is reporting a 1,300% increase in car ramming attacks on ICE agents alone compared to the same period last year, and a 58% increase against Border Patrol agents.
Those attacks started or almost coincided with Governor Steen's heated rhetoric. It's starting again here in North Carolina, here in Charlotte. His heated rhetoric where he said that we were racists and that we were not conducting our operations in a lawful manner. Very soon after he said that, we started seeing the violence.
We've also been seeing protests here in Charlotte since federal agents began this latest operation. Local faith leaders say families are scared to leave their homes. And according to Charlotte-Mecklenburg school officials, more than 20,000 students were absent on Monday. Now, one local business owner tells me he just wants criminals off the streets, but he's keeping his bakery closed for now because he's worried about federal agents profiling people around his shop.
Somebody was walking on the street, took them down to the floor. I saw that 3 times on Saturday. I don't want a kid to know that his father wasn't his way to get bread or to get a birthday cake, and he never got back home.
Now, the mayor of Charlotte is calling this operation a crisis. She even mentioned early this morning in a press conference that she also spoke to the mayor of Chicago. She did not go into too much detail, but that he provided support as well as just more conversation of what kind of resources the city and county can do to help the people in this community. Dawn, Scott.
Chelsea Torres, thank you. If your apps and websites were not working earlier today, you can blame web traffic company Cloudflare. There was a huge outage for a couple of hours. Beginning around 5 this morning, people on sites including X, ChatGPT, DoorDash, IKEA, and Indeed were met with error messages. The company says it identified the issue and a fix was implemented. Cloudflare protects major companies from cyber attacks and traffic surges. A federal court is blocking Texas from using its redrawn House map in the 2026 midterms. Republicans drew the state's new map to give the GOP 5 additional seats. Democratic members of the Texas House tried to block passage of the new map by fleeing here to Illinois earlier this year. You might remember several other states followed suit, including Missouri and North Carolina. To counter Texas lawmakers, California voters overwhelmingly approved a ballot initiative earlier this month, giving Democrats an additional 5 seats there.
Well, of course, Thanksgiving is just over a week away, and that means it's time for this reminder. Do not try to deep fry a frozen turkey, and do not use too much oil.
As you can see, as soon as the oil splashes over, we've got the flames going.
Yeah, that's how fast your holiday meal can turn dangerous. Thanksgiving is actually the leading day for home fires involving cooking equipment. One of the big reasons, kitchens get busy, people get distracted.
A momentary lapse can easily turn into a dangerous situation. That's why it's essential to stay focused, set timers, and avoid leaving food unattended. Staying alert and keeping a close watch on what's on the stove or in the oven is one of the simplest and most effective ways to prevent a cooking fire.
CFD adding the following: turkey fryers are one of the biggest holiday fire hazards. To stay safe, Put the fryer on a solid, level surface at least 10 feet away from anything that's flammable. Thaw your bird completely and don't overfill the pot. You can test how much oil you will need by filling your fryer with water and then dunking the turkey inside. You want the water to be well below the top. Good advice.
It is. Now repeat that. No, I'm just kidding. So many instructions. Hi, Mark.
Hi, guys. How are you? You know what? Outside right now, really not overly cold. We've got temperatures that are holding in the 40s, 43 degrees at both of the airports. And this is where we're going to be probably for about the next 36 hours or so, within a few degrees of this temperature range. Not a lot cooler at night, not a lot warmer during the day. Again, fluctuations pretty narrow range. Now that, in spite of the fact that, well, at the very first frames here, we've got some snowfall on the other side of the big pond across central Michigan and across central Illinois earlier today. We had some showers and some thunderstorms around. So a lot of weather packed into the Midwest. And here we are being all kind of flatlined with our temperatures, with our cloud cover, a little bit of drizzle around as well. Satellite and radar, there's the storm up to the north, at least the snow that's coming down. And these are the showers and thunderstorms that tore through southern Illinois, central Indiana as they continue off to their east. Again, here we are in the middle, just cloudy, kind of drab. And temperatures, again, not going very far anytime soon. As we take you through the overnight hours, yeah, we lose a couple of degrees, but not much. We've got mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. We're going to continue with the cloud cover. And the clouds holding pretty low cloud ceiling. And that's kind of making sure that our temperature is really not fluctuating too much. 43 along the lake at Gary. It's 41 in Chicago Heights, 41 degrees in Kankakee. In Ottawa this hour, it's 43, 40 degrees in DeKalb. In 40s, that's where we're going to stick overnight and again tomorrow. Beyond that, well, I've got the 7-day forecast coming up.
nation's capital, President Trump rolled out the red carpet for Saudi Arabia's crown prince at the White House.
Second time the two leaders have met face-to-face this year alone. They had a lot to talk about. President Trump looking to get more Saudi investment in the U.S. The crown prince hoping to expand security cooperation, also looking to purchase U.S.-made F-35 fighter jets. This was the Saudis' first trip to D.C. since the 2018 assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. U.S. intelligence determining the Crown Prince ordered his murder, and he was asked about that today.
It's painful and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best that this doesn't happen again. He knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that.
The Trump administration will host a black-tie dinner with more than 100 invited guests tonight. The event is not a state-sanctioned dinner. It is the first formal dinner to honor a country's leader hosted by Trump during his second term.
Sean Diddy Combs is being investigated for new sexual assault allegations. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department looking into claims by music producer Jonathan Hay, who says Diddy assaulted him during a 2020 photo shoot and again in 2021. Hay recently identified himself as the plaintiff in a lawsuit from July against Combs. Diddy is serving a 4-year prison sentence in a separate case.
Guy in Florida found hiding from deputies in a pond. It all started after he broke out of jail. He stole an e-bike from somebody's house, the theft caught on a doorbell camera, and that helped police narrow his whereabouts. When they closed in on him, he ended up running into a pond. Deputies got him out. He did apologize to them, but was arrested nonetheless. Officials are not saying exactly how he escaped, but say new security procedures have been put in place.
Don't want to offend you, but a lot of people thought that was a girl scream when you jumped up on that car. What do you got to say for yourself?
A loose goat in Detroit terrifying some people after wandering into a backyard. Dylan, the one screaming, wasn't the only one freaked out. His mom ran out with a knife after hearing the commotion. He managed to get back into the house unscathed. Eventually, his family discovered the goat had gotten loose from a restaurant called the Psychedelic Healing Shack, which is right down the road.
Wow, that's a tough one to follow. Let's go way up north, and we mean way up north. This is a town in Alaska, 500 miles northwest of Fairbanks. And boy, when the sun sets tonight, they mean it. It will not rise again, the sun that is, until the 22nd of January. That's 64 days without any sunlight, all because of the tilt of the Earth's axis. This is video from years past. They call it polar night. On the flip side, next May, they call it midnight sun. And that's when towns above the Arctic Circle get as much as 24 hours of sunshine each and every day. Still ahead on the news at 5 Illinois going modern. We're going to tell you when you'll be able to put your ID onto your telephone.
And some new moms getting quite the surprise today from a Bears player.
Latino in later in sports, Bulls bench mob proves it can fuel them through multiple wins this season. Hear from Josh Giddey on how they ended a 5-game skid. Plus, Caleb Williams continues to show ice in his veins, and we had some fun with his new Iceman nickname. We'll reveal it to you later in sports. Plus, Fox Sports' Danny Parkins shares his thoughts on the 7-3 Bears. Hear from him later in sports. So you only check.
Now at the bottom of the hour, pretty soon, you'll be able to leave home with just your phone when your ID can go to digital.
We already got a taste of winter, right? But of course, there's a lot more coming. How the state is getting prepared.
First, a Fox Chicago follow-up. A husband and wife say a Northwest Indiana hospital sent them away while the mother was in active labor.
It's an unbelievable story. They were forced to deliver that newborn along the side of a highway.
Tia Ewing here. They've hired a lawyer now, but they tell you it's not money they're asking for.
No, they want change on the hospital level so that this doesn't happen to another expecting mom. The Wells family says the experience was traumatic, discriminatory, and dangerous. And tonight they are calling for Franciscan Health Crown Point to make some serious changes.
I just don't understand how, as a licensed healthcare worker, you could turn someone to the door to leave that's in excruciating pain. It's essentially like I was stripped of my dignity. I was stripped of my dignity as a person because I was treated less than an animal.
Well, this is cell phone video, and it shows Mercedes Wells being wheeled out of Franciscan Health and discharged, even as she says she was in active labor with contractions 1 minute apart. Mercedes and her husband Leon say staff ignored their pleas for help and sent them away without ever being seen by a doctor. 8 minutes later, Mercedes felt the baby coming. Their daughter Alina was born on the side of the highway, delivered by her father Leon. Franciscan Health declined an interview but says it has launched an internal investigation. The Wells family believes race played a role in all of this. Medical experts note federal EMTALA laws require hospitals to screen and stabilize patients in labor before ever discharging them.
The Emergency Medicine Treatment Labor Act, and this is a federal law from 1986, which all hospitals must comply, and that's two aspects of the EMTALA. That's we provide a screening and stabilization. And so that goes into question when you look at this video as it applies to stabilization. But again, this is not common practice.
We're calling for a meeting with the administrators at Franciscan. Accountability looks like making certain that the woman that made the decision to kick her out of this hospital doesn't work there anymore.
The hospital says they are investigating now. We did just get this amazing video of little Alina, who is clearly doing just fine despite the circumstances. She's 2 days old. Look at her. Look how cute, healthy, adorable she is. So that's the positive in all of this, Dawn and Scott.
Certainly is. She is cute.
She is so cute.
Tough act to follow.
Yeah. Can we just look at that the rest of the time?
Seriously.
But we do need to get to the weather, I guess. Hi, Mark.
I don't know. I think that's probably a baby's a lot cuter than the weather.
I think so, because this rain, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not down with it. You know what? At least the rainfall that's coming anytime soon is going to be pretty light. It's going to be widely scattered. Not going to be a big deal. But what will be a big deal will be, just kind of flat. Weather that's really not going anywhere. Look at this, clouds right across the board. Temperatures down into the low 40s, about 43 degrees overnight tonight, up to about 45 degrees tomorrow. So very dull, not a lot of fluctuation. It's not until we get till Thursday we actually see the temperatures pop up. And look where they go. They go up into the 50s. So we go to the 40s to the 50s. So pretty flat line, pretty homogeneous weather coming our way all the way through till the end of the week. Now, as we get to the end of the week, the good news is we'll finally see a little bit of sunshine. Right now, there is colder air just up to our north across Michigan, where they've had some snowfall, and central Illinois has had some showers and thunderstorms earlier this afternoon. So, yeah, there are some small ticks coming up over the next couple of days with some precip, but not really a whole lot that's going to really quench the moisture that we really need around here. But temperatures, pretty much nothing really too dynamic, nothing too flashy. 40s the next couple of days, and after that we go up into the 50s. So welcome to November.
Like in those 50s, although, Mark, as you know, we got a blast of winter to come last week with more snow in the weeks and months ahead, in anticipation of what is always A slippery season behind the wheel. IDOT and the Illinois Tollway Authority cautioning the public today to be prepared, from keeping gas tanks at least half full at all times so you can keep your car running following an accident, to storing extra winter weather gear inside your vehicle. This year's safety checklist is designed to keep everybody safe in the result of an accident. But as always, the best advice from the pros this winter: slow down.
The easiest, most critical precaution drivers must take during winter weather is to slow down and increase their distance from other vehicles, especially plows and emergency responders.
IDOT will deploy nearly 200 plows operating around the clock, along with a stockpile of over 100,000 tons of road salt. Should you find yourself in trouble on the road, you can call star 999 24 hours a day. Well, starting tomorrow, Illinois lets iPhone users store their actual driver's license on their phone.
Terrence is back with what you need to know before you try it. This is big.
Yeah, and I'll walk you through the setup steps in just a little bit. But yes, this moves and starts tomorrow morning. You can store your state ID or driver's license in Apple Wallet. You can use it at TSA and at places that sign up. So let's go over the main things you need to know. First is safety. The state says the ID sits encrypted on your phone and it opens with Face ID. And when you go to TSA or the business that has the machine, you tap the reader and you approve what gets shared. The state also says it does not see when you use it. All right, next question, access. Right now, like I said, this works at TSA checkpoints in more than 250 airports and businesses that opt in. Police do not have to accept the digital version, though. Bars and restaurants need new equipment before they can use it. Soldier Field and some other venues, they'll start testing it pretty soon. The Secretary of State says one finding from testing shaped the rollout.
I think the most important lesson that our IT team working with Apple has identified is how secure the encryption and the biometric authorization has been.
All right, setup is quick. You open the Wallet app, you press the plus sign at the top, you scan your card. Don't look at my photo because it's horrible. And then you take a selfie. The state verifies it and loads it. The digital ID also updates automatically if your information changes. You can find a full walkthrough on ilsos.gov, or Dawn and Scott, we can work out an arrangement like I have with Sylvia. Pay me $5.
I was just going to say, that was so clear and succinct.
Yeah, $5 for you, Scott, 10 for you, Dawn.
Oh, boo.
Thanks.
I get a mom joke tax.
All right, as we mark Lung Cancer Awareness Month, experts tonight have a reminder: not just smokers, anybody with lungs can be at risk of developing this disease.
And we're highlighting one local woman who founded an advocacy group to make sure those battling lung cancer know they're not alone.
Well, November marks National Lung Cancer Awareness Month.
And this past weekend, a local woman put together an event to bring together those battling a certain type of lung cancer and the people who care for them.
She sat down with Fox Chicago to share her story.
Anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. While we don't have any type of universal early detection, it is important to listen to your body, but it's also important to understand no one deserves lung cancer. I do have EGFR positive lung cancer, which is epidermal growth factor receptor. So we have EGFR proteins all over our body. That's what repairs the tissue. But EGFR positive lung cancer is something different. It's like a light switch is turned on and you can't turn that light switch off. My story didn't start with my own diagnosis. It started with actually loss. When I was 13, I lost my dad and 2 grandparents to lung cancer. And then when I was in my 20s, both my mom and my aunt died of lung cancer. And back in late 2000, I desperately tried to find an event, a walk, a support group, an organization, some way to confront this disease that had devastated my family. And there was nothing. But I did what I could to get educated and be an advocate. And while doing so, I was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2009 at 39 years old. My kids were 6, 8, 10, and 12 at the time, and their only association with the disease was death. They were scared, and my biggest fear became reality. I was following in my family's footsteps, and at the time, really, there still wasn't any promising research that convinced me my path would be different. Social media, thankfully, was starting to boom around 2009 and 10. And so what we found was people, like patients, caregivers, loved ones, were finding each other online. I always say no amount of therapy could help me through my losses the way my involvement and with advocacy in the community I found who got it in a way that no one else can. It's a support, but it's empowering. 2017, we founded the EGFR Resistors Patient and Caregiver Group. And we started with a Facebook group as a safe space where people could come and they can ask questions and they could share knowledge. People, most importantly, knew they're not alone. Cancer fosters this instant intimacy because it's a very isolating feeling. But when you find a community that can help you, that lifts and carries you when you need it, sometimes it can be life-saving. It is always life-changing. Our community's grown. I mean, we have over 7,400 patients and caregivers from over 100 countries. It's all been wonderful online, but there is nothing like connecting with people in person. Nobody should ever have to suffer in silence like my family did. And so that is, I think, what is so important, that the community is really that's everybody's source of strength, is that community.
Well, here's how our weather looks over the next couple of days. We're going to be stuck in the 40s for both daytime highs and overnight low temperatures. Eventually, by Thursday, we make it up into the 50s, but there's a lot of clouds around and maybe a little bit of drizzle, maybe some pockets of light rainfall from time to time over the next couple of days. Today, we made it up to 44, a little shy of the average of 47. And right now, a low cloud ceiling with a little bit of damp, drizzly weather around Chicago this evening. Winds out of the northeast at 16 miles per hour. That makes our 43 actually feel a little cooler, more like 35. So a little bit of a raw edge here this evening. That's snowfall on the other side of the pond across central Michigan. And this is some thunderstorm activity that's popped up to our south across central Illinois and central Indiana. And here we are sandwiched right in the middle, with our weather really not fluctuating much at all. So we're right in the middle, that meaty part of the curve. Temperatures right now, 43 degrees, both of the airports, 42 at the lakeshore. There are some 30s up north across the Wisconsin state line, but again, not a lot of fluctuation in our temperatures. We're in the low 40s tonight. Tomorrow, back up into the mid 40s. By Thursday, mid 50s. By Friday, finally a little bit of sunshine, temperatures popping up into the low 50s. So here's your future cast. A lot of clouds just kind of hanging out here in Chicago. Not only here, but all the way across most of the state up into Minnesota and down into Missouri. We're just kind of under a cloud here for the next couple of days. But right now, it looks like sunshine does break into the weekend forecast. So that's certainly good news, along with temperatures back up into the 50s. That massive storm system that we thought would bring us some wet weather for Thursday and Friday, you saw that down south. It looks like it's going to stay down south, and we miss out on that well-needed moisture. Well, tonight 41, tomorrow 44. Here's the rest of the 7-day forecast. Finally up into the 50s on Thursday. A little bit of sunshine on Friday. Temperatures of 52. The weekend looks pretty good. Temperatures in the 50s both days. 50 on Saturday, 55 degrees on Sunday. Temperatures holding in the 50s Monday and Tuesday with another shot of rainfall late in the 7-day forecast.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Talk about a big bear hug, so to speak. The Chicago Bears welcoming new moms to Advocate Illinois Masonic today. Chicago player Elijah Hicks and his sidekick Staley DeBear surprised a new group of little fans and their moms. They handed out gift bags that included Crate and Barrel diaper bags, Baby Bears zip tags, and Baby Bears milestone blankets. There were smiles all around as everyone looks forward to another Bears win this Sunday, by the way, at Soldier Field.
Nice. Let's keep it with the Bears because the team is enjoying sitting atop the NFC North.
But they've got a tough schedule ahead. Tina is here with more.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The second toughest remaining schedule in the NFL right now. First time in 7 years, the Bears are on top of the NFC North. 3 straight comeback wins, but they still haven't beaten a team with a winning record. So a good team, or are they just lucky? Fox Sports' Danny Parkins was on CST yesterday, and he explained.
You can coach harder off an ugly win because it's like, okay, you won, you get to celebrate it, but look, this could have cost us, that could have cost us, this could have cost us. So, like, I think they know that they are not as good as their record indicates, but that's okay. Like, that would not be okay in year 3 or 4 of Caleb Williams, in years 3 or 4 of Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
but in year 2 of Caleb, year 1 of Ben Johnson, I think it's okay right now.
All right, so the Bears host the Steelers on Sunday, but it's still to be determined if they'll face a familiar foe in quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers fractured his left non-throwing wrist against the Bengals on Sunday. He will not need surgery. Instead, head coach Mike Tomlin said, quote, "It's just about bracing and securing it for his comfort and safety." Rodgers not ruled out just yet. That will again be determined later on this week.
Let me boast a little bit, all right? I haven't been able to say that since 2018. I know Miller
was coming.
Miller, you knew it was coming. You said it in an email.
That was coming.
You knew it was coming.
I went to school in Southern Illinois, so I had to hear from all my friends who live in Chicago talking about Bears back, Bear down, all this stuff. So my phone has been blowing up. I'm tired of it. Look, you guys are first place in the division. We'll see how long it stays there. Anytime we can get somebody from the first place city in the NFC North to join our show, we are just indebted for that.
Oh, come on. We got to let Lou Canellis brag a little bit here. Lou and the crew having some fun talking about the first place Chicago Bears on this week's episode of First and North. Catch it early at 6 p.m. on Fox Local or 9:30 p.m. on your home of the Bears, Fox Chicago, right here. All right, to the ice, where the Blackhawks host the last place Calgary Flames tonight. Hawks have been on a roll, winning 4 of their last 5, and Connor Bedard is driving the surge. The 20-year-old was on a 9-game point streak recently, piling up 19 points over that span. Head coach Jeff Coach Blashill says the recent success is no accident, part of a full culture reset.
We talked from day one that the best cultures, their best players play winning hockey, and they do it right on a night-to-night basis. And that doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes, but it means you're caring enough about winning that you're going to try to do it right every shift. And I think both those guys have done that. And you know, they've led by example. I think that's the best way to lead.
All right, baseball. Shota Imanaga, no longer a free agent, as in he is returning to Chicago with the Cubs. The lefty starter accepted a one-year, $22 million qualifying offer. He's now locked in for at least another season. Meanwhile, Kyle Tucker, of course, as expected, declined his qualifying offer, making him one of the top free agents on the market. All right, before we send it over to the desk, Caleb Williams has powered the Bears to multiple fourth-quarter comebacks, right? This season, it's earned him the nickname Iceman. So here at Fox 32, we had some fun in our sports department. We got a little creative. Come on. It's the 7-3 Bears. The nickname, Iceman Caleb Williams. Ice in his veins. Just cool under pressure. I know we can all appreciate this Top Gun reference here. You hear the music too? Val Kilmer's iconic Iceman, guys. The guy who made staying cool look like an art form. You see the patch there. We even changed the name tag. Got a Chicago Bears helmet too. And by the way, it is Caleb Williams' birthday today. So an extra cool day in Chicago for QB1, guys.
I like what they did, but they need to give him some more muscles. More muscles? Looking a little skinny.
We need to get Ben Johnson involved in this somehow, too.
Yeah. Thanks, Tina. Emily has one final check. Oh, she's not here today, by the way. Mark has one final check of the forecast when we come back. Abbott, see you.
Keep you high.
Finally, in Taiwan, they're learning not to clean the art.
Somebody thought this thing was a dirty mirror. It turned out to be a $1 million piece of art. A volunteer, yes, Mark, accidentally cleaned it. Thought it was, just as we said, a dirty mirror, an honest mistake, but actually part of an installation meant to symbolize memory and shifting values. Staff jumped in quickly, not quickly enough. The museum has since apologized to the artist, speaking with that person and ensures about what to do next. That volunteer probably looking to volunteer elsewhere.
I think so, huh? I don't know. I see the positive light here. Maybe this could be a Windex commercial. Okay.
Nice pen.
It's a stretch, I know. Okay. Well, if you're looking out your window tonight, you're seeing kind of some cloudy, drab conditions, a little bit of drizzle, maybe a pocket or two of some very light rainfall. We're down into the low 40s tonight, which is not far from what we did for a daytime high today, the mid-40s. And then tomorrow we're back up into the mid-40s. Not till Thursday do we make it back up into the 50s. 50s the rest of the week. Nice. Some sunshine this week.
We like it. All right, thanks, Mark, and thanks for joining us at 5.
Now you can stream us on your smart TV with Fox Local.
We're on all the streaming platforms.
Family Feud is next. We'll see you back here for the news at 9.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to First and North. My name is Luke Canellis. I'm at Fox 32 in Chicago. Joining me this week on First and North, let's bring up the crew. From Fox 2 in Detroit, the voice of the Lions, Dan Miller. From Fox 6 in Milwaukee, Lily Zhao. And from Fox 9 in Minneapolis, he's back, Ahmad Hicks. Good to see you, Ahmad. All right, here are the latest NFC North standings going into Week 12. Bears are in first place for the first time since 2018. They would be the number 3 seed in the NFC if the playoffs started this week, a game behind the Eagles and Rams. Packers sneak out of New York with a win, move back into second if the playoffs started this week. Green Bay would be the 6th seed and would play the Bears in the wild card round at Soldier Field. Lions offense disappeared in Philadelphia, lands them in 3rd place in the division, but out of the playoff picture. Vikings lost their first division game this season to the Bears, and they're on the verge of falling out of the postseason talk altogether. All right, let's start in Chicago with the first place Bears. And guys, just let me boast a little bit, all right? I haven't been able to say that since 2018. I know
Who knew
Miller
that was coming?
Miller, you knew it was coming. You said it in an email.
Who knew that was coming?
You knew it was coming. Listen, come on, man. You have been in my position. You have been through some hard times, and then you started to win. And listen, Bears haven't been in this position in 7 years, and at that time, they had a rookie head coach by the name of Matt Nagy and a second-year quarterback by the name of Mitch Trubisky. And now, same story, 7 years later, another rookie head coach, Ben Johnson, hopefully a better head coach, and another second-year quarterback, Caleb Williams.